What's up, my friends? Hey, so it's WrestleMania weekend, at least as of recording this video, and I thought it'd be fun to kind of throw out there a little story time video about the time I got to see a WWE event while deployed to a combat zone in Iraq. So there it was, deep in the combat battle, watching people getting suplexed, body slammed, all that fun stuff. Okay, maybe not quite that extreme, but it was pretty cool. While I was deployed during my second time in Iraq, got an opportunity to get to watch a WWE event as they came to Baghdad, Iraq to put on a little show for us. So I even got some little video clips I'm gonna overlay into here so you guys can see a little bit of the experience. I believe somewhere's on the internet, if I can still find it, I'll link it down below, but they have the full WWE event. I think I saw it one time on YouTube, but you could see the whole thing. It was a televised thing. It was obviously pre-recorded, and then later, I think a month or whatever later, televised as a salute to the troops episode for WWE. So this was my second deployment. I was in Baghdad, Iraq. They had told us that, hey, the WWE was coming to put on a show. They were gonna, do some matches and all that kind of fun stuff. And if you wanted to go, then cool, you could go. There was no like charge or anything like that. You just got to go down to where it was at. It was over near one of the palaces on Baghdad International Airport. So they had it near that area. They had the ring set up and everything. So you could just head on down there and go watch the show. It was during the day, so it wasn't at night or anything, but it was during the day. And I remember that we had, our mechanics had to build a bed for the Big Show. The Big Show being the wrestler, the Big Show. So this guy is huge, he's humongous. They were staying over in the palace, I guess, and the regular beds were not gonna work for him. So they needed some help with a bed that would suit someone of that size. So I remember they had to go build a special bed that was gonna be able to accommodate him. And even I remember when everybody showed up, they all showed up in a bus for all the wrestlers, except for the Big Show. He had to be in a separate vehicle because it was too much of a pain, I guess, for him to fit inside the bus or something like that. But I remember that was kind of crazy. So I went down there with a few other, fellow soldiers, some of my friends of mine, and we kind of hung out and watched the show. I remember before the show started, R-Truth had kind of practiced his entrance of coming out of one of the MRAPs because we had some MRAP vehicles set up to be able to kind of be in the backdrop of around the ring area.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
So he did his little practice thing, and then later he did the real deal thing, but it was kind of cool getting to kind of experience him practicing it before he kind of actually did it for like the full-on kind of experience. At this time, I wasn't really big into wrestling. I, watched wrestling as a kid. I was kind of out of wrestling at this point in time, so I wasn't really up to date with like who all these wrestlers were, but it was an experience. It was really fun. There was a lot of people that I did recognize, that I did know who they were, but there was also some people that I didn't know who they were at the time. Like at the time CM Punk was there, I didn't know who CM Punk was. There was some females wrestling. I think it was around Christmas time. It was close to maybe a few months away from Christmas or something. So they did some female matches, and of course that's bad news. You got a bunch of dudes who've been deployed for, this was a 15-month deployment. I don't remember how far into the deployment this was, but obviously you got some dudes, they're whistling and, all this kind of fun stuff. And, you got the women that come out to wrestle, and oh man, you got some eye candy for the guys.
And from Jacksonville, Florida,
So it was kind of a fun experience. Though they did a couple matches, and then it was kind of mixed in there. I think it was maybe like only one female match or two female matches or something like that, but definitely added to the mix. But it was definitely exciting. No, like I said, I didn't really know who a lot of these people were, but it was kind of fun watching the matches kind of play out and, all the action. I wasn't that far away from the ring, so I had a pretty good view and getting to like kind of experience it. And that was actually my first time ever experiencing a actual WWE wrestling event. Before this, I had never seen anything. Later, I got to see some. I took, Mrs. Chaos to go see some stuff because she's big into wrestling. I've kind of gotten back into wrestling a little bit because of her, but, we've gone and seen a couple of events. But at that point in time, that was actually the first time I'd ever seen any kind of WWE event. But at the very end, I remember it was pretty cool. You had, I think it was like John Cena and Batista, and I forget who else was kind of out there. But you had some pretty cool, matches at the very end, and then they kind of did a little thing where they hung out, and Batista and John Cena hung out and talked to the crowd and everything, and give their thanks for everything we do, and it was really cool. But it was definitely fun. I remember it was good, getting to kind of get away from everything and kind of, even for a little while, forget you're in this crazy, horrible environment of a combat zone type of thing and enjoy something from back in the States. So it was really cool to be able to tell my friends and family that I got to see a WWE event and all that stuff. And some of my friends got pictures with some of the wrestlers. I like I said, was kind of out of touch with a lot of who these people were, so I didn't get any photos, but it was a really cool experience. It was fun. That was just one of the things you got to do in Iraq. I mean, there was a couple times where we had concerts and other things, but hey, if I got any of my viewers out there that were deployed to combat zones, either Iraq, Afghanistan, whatever, and you had some of these USO type of tours or something like this that came to your area, leave me some comments down below. But I'd love to hear about some of the cool events that you got to see. I remember I was mad that, I think it was a couple months after I left, Avenged Sevenfold came to that same location, and I missed that show, so that would have been pretty cool. But it was fun. It was a good time. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. I'm Christopher Chaos. See you next time. See ya.